are under attack from the effects of stalking, cyberbullying, and terrorism, which are reaching epidemic proportions in the United States. The personal toll from stalking is devastating. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, there are 6.5 million reported cases of stalking each year, with 135,000 women losing their jobs as a result. What you are about to see are the personal stories of some of the victims.
Break out the champagne, no? I'm waving him in.
Break out the champagne.
Very apropos, right?
All units, 1098, stand by.
That's the car check?
The what?
What the f did I just ask you? I asked you for the car check.
All right, so look, here's what we got for today. The story with Sheila is she was having an affair with a married man. And during a sexual romp, he winds up taking photographs on a cell phone. What are her expectations? What does she want us to do? She keeps telling me that she wants justice, but she's not exactly sure what it is. She thinks the wife is going to be the target. I'm not totally convinced at this point. These photos have been out there. Too many people have seen these things. This could take a strange twist.
I had an affair with a married man. I get that. Maybe there's punishment there. I don't know. I mean, I gotta tell you, I just feel really stupid.
Stalking victims often suffer in silence and feel a total loss of control in their lives. They can become overwhelmed quickly and don't know who to turn to, only furthering a sense of isolation. In some cases, it is so debilitating they lose everything. Before that happens, they need to find an advocate.
Appreciate you coming in. Tell us about the situation and what's been going on.
I had a relationship with a man. He's married. And one night we thought it would be fun to take some pictures and took them on his cell phone. I feel so stupid.
Look, we're all human beings, and things happen. And unfortunately, it happened to you. So just try to relax. You know what?
We just got a little crazy and wild, and he suggested to take some pictures, and I just thought that would be kind of wild and fun and, you know, be private. Nobody would see those ever. A few weeks later, I was contacted by some friends that said they received emails with these pictures, and there was a Facebook page with these pictures. I don't have a Facebook page. I don't go on that. I don't know really much about it. So I don't know where this came from. But all these pictures are out there, my friends, my family, some professional contacts got these pictures. How could I be so stupid to let him take those pictures? I won't let myself think that he did it. The only thing I can think of that could have possibly happened is that his wife figured out my password somehow from my AOL account, from the different text messages that this man and I would send back and forth. Another stupid thing on my part was that my password on my AOL account is the pet name that he gave me.
Sheila, you had mentioned that you believe that you may be getting stalked. Just tell us a little bit about what you're experiencing on the stalking side of this.
When I'm out on the streets, I feel like somebody's following, because there's shadow. I always feel like I have to look over my shoulder. And I've seen the same car a lot of times when I'm out, when I get that feeling. So I'm just so scared that she's following me or wanting. She hasn't done enough to me.
Have you spoken to him about this?
I did tell him what was going on.
Has he approached his wife?
I don't think so. I don't know. The absolute worst part, I guess the reason I didn't tell you this first is because it's the worst. And it hurt me the deepest, and that is those pictures were sent to my son. My son is a Marine stationed in Iraq. I don't know what this could do to him. I don't know how it could impact him being able to fight and be aware of what he needs to do over there. He's my baby, and he's fighting for this country. And if I've done anything that puts his life at risk, how am I gonna live with myself?
What we try and do with our cases is we try and prepare a case that would become prosecutable. Having the experience coming from law enforcement, we understand what those cases need to look like and what they need to be. So what we will do is assist the victim in being able to gather all of the intelligence information that they would need for law enforcement as far as who the originators are, who the sender was. We would also try and put together all of the evidence, put a nice bow around it, and bring it to law enforcement or to a prosecutor's office, hopefully to be able to get an apprehension. Let's get back to the car. What kind of car did you say? Can you describe it at all, or?
It's a 4-door car, just kind of nondescript.
Generic, but you recognize it if you saw it.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of tannish gold color.
Do you know any of the license plate at all? Did you get any of it, or just haven't got to that point yet?
No, I just haven't paid that much attention.
Okay.
All right, here's what we'd like to do. We understand what you're going through, and what we want to do is we want to put a counter surveillance on you. We'll set up with you and Durka, get together, and what we'll do is when you get off the subway, we'll be there and we'll just keep an eye on you, and we'll see if anybody's following you, and we'll see if we can nail this down for you, and we'll take it one step at a time. Once we get done with that, then we'll start working on who hacked into your AOL account and then who was sending those pictures out. Right now, I know you believe that it's the wife that did this, and it's quite possible that the wife did it, but at some point, if we're gonna put together a prosecutable case, we're gonna need to make sure that we prove it comes back to her. If you get any phone calls, you get any more text messages or emails or anything like that, then you could please let us know right away. Don't delete anything and don't erase anything. Okay?
Good.
All right.
I don't know if it's the wife again or a friend of hers, or maybe she's hired somebody to keep track of me and see what else. I don't know, but yeah, the team said that they would put up a surveillance on me in a couple of spots and see if it's true that there may be somebody that is following me around.
The odds on this of the wife, I mean, she's already got the photos on the husband's cell phone, so it doesn't necessarily make sense that, it's a PI involved to prove the fact that they're having an affair.
Could be.
I mean, it could be.
Maybe just to see if they're still doing it on the slide. Maybe that's why, But then again, you would probably want to follow the husband then rather than her.
Well, I'll tell you, when we're out there, we gotta keep an eye peeled for a third party, like a private investigator.
Yeah, we'll catch him.
The strange part of this, with the way this thing is running and the way this day is going,
Who knows?
I wouldn't be surprised if these photos got somebody's juices flowing.
That's always possible.
Yeah, that's all we need is just another psycho running around in the world.
A major issue for victims of stalking cases is being able to collect enough evidence to prove they are in fact being stalked. Frustration mounts when law enforcement wants the victim to prove that he or she is being stalked. One tactic the team uses is a counter-surveillance operation. It allows the team to document any evidence of stalking behavior to prove the victim's case.
Tango 2, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm in your neighborhood. I'll copy. 5x5.
Yeah, it's affirmative, Tango 2. We got Tango 4 is on the air at this time as well.
Receive. I'm at Boston Post in Larchmont. A block from me.
Tango 1, Tango 2, the 2 vehicles are in position waiting for your swap. We're going to change parking positions, not vehicles.
Tango 2, Tango 1. I am east of the restaurant closest to Post Road. Copy. I have the suspect vehicle in sight. He's passing my position now.
Tango 4, subject is pulling into the lot. Just passed behind Berg and myself. Subject exited his vehicle.
All right, he's coming right at us.
Beautiful. Smile.
Fred, we don't have visual right now. He headed down towards you.
Freddy, he's passing you now.
Stalking cases do not end quickly. The average case can take anywhere from 1 to 3 years to be resolved, and the case of Sheila continues today. After meeting with the team, an investigative plan was developed. Counter-surveillance is being performed and a possible suspect has been identified. The team is trying to determine just what connection he has to this case. Is he a private investigator hired by the wife, or is he someone who's been infatuated with her after seeing the pictures? And what, if anything, does the husband say in his interview? To go behind the scenes to look into this case, review the case folder, and see what is coming up in the next episode, go to protectivecountermeasures.com/stalking. Cyberbullying is having dramatic effects on adults and children. Over 58% of children are cyberbullied online, and it has driven some to commit suicide.
All right, here's what we got real quick. We got Nico being online on Facebook, having a bunch of people that are bullying him online, calling him a fag, calling him a punk. Durka's working that case. Seems like she's not comfortable with the way this thing is progressing. She thinks the kid's getting depressed. He may wind up committing suicide.
I'm afraid my brother's being cyberbullied. I haven't seen him in the past 2 days. There's something wrong. And I feel like he's having really, really dark thoughts. We have to stop this. There has to be something you could do.
Sometimes the case takes a totally different turn, and what we wind up doing for the victim is almost becoming more of a counselor or someone that needs to look out for the victim. In one particular case, the most recent case that we had a victim of cyberbullying who really went through a period of severe depression. And as a result of that depression, we really believed that person wanted to commit suicide.
People are just bullying him on the internet with their comments. He hasn't been acting the same lately. He's a really happy kid, but lately he's not been.
Durka is attempting to find the victim online to try and befriend him. She wants to prove to him that he is not alone, and it can and will get better. He has become reclusive, not telling anyone where he is or what he is up to. The team is hopeful she can make contact with him, become a friend, and stop this before it gets any worse.
I don't know what's come over him, but I looked onto his Facebook page once while he stepped away from his computer, and they were saying some pretty harsh things to him.
They fall into a state of depression. They don't know what to do. They think people are pointing fingers at them because either they're being referenced in a sexual manner, you know, that they might be or not be. They're making fun of the way they're dressed, or if for some strange reason they've taken pictures and posted it online. You know, all these things affect people emotionally, especially kids, because they're like real self-censoring. They think, oh no, this is the end of the world. There's no outlet, and they don't feel comfortable sometimes turning to their parents. They don't know who to talk to or what help to get. And in return, it's sad and it happens. The suicide part does happen.
Guys, I lost him.
What do you mean you lost?
He signed off. He said goodbye. So I think he's suicidal.
He said goodbye.
He said goodbye. I have a gut feeling.
Where's Sophia?
I'll get her.
At some point, Sophia's got to stop coughing up something or have a better memory. We'll see what happens. Hi, hon. Come on. Look, this isn't good. He said goodbye to Durka. You probably already know that. Right? We've been dancing around this issue. Is he going to commit suicide? Do you think he's capable of committing suicide? I'm sorry, I know it's tough, but I can't say he's doing something stupid. Is he going to commit suicide? Does he have the capability?
I don't know.
Okay. We're going to handle this right now. We're going to take it as he's trying to commit suicide.
The case is now about finding Sophia's brother Nico. The cyberbullying case will have to wait.
He has one friend he's really close to, and I haven't heard from him. He usually calls the house. I don't know if they're together.
Do you know his friend Johnny's last name?
No.
Okay. Do you have any idea where Johnny lives?
No.
Do you know of maybe a borough or an area or a town or something that he lives in?
No.
He's never been to your house?
No. I mean, he's been there. I just don't know where he lives.
All right. Is there anything you can think of that would take us back? What about his family, his father? Do you have a father's name, a mother's name, a brother?
I think the father used to work with my dad. They had a company together. They were partners in the company.
What kind of company?
I don't know.
How long ago?
I don't know.
5 years, 10 years? Do you have no idea?
I don't know.
The only thing that the sister knew was that he had had a very good friend of his named John. And all she could remember was that John's father and her father had owned a business together.
They're gonna go through everything on the internet and attack whoever's bothering him. I just hope they do it in time.
Jimmy, you had done the forensics on the laptop.
Right.
Let's run that. Durka, the same thing. If you start reaching out to some of the online friends that he may have had, maybe they heard from him and they're not talking to us. Frankie, Sophia's father, let's run a background on him. Find the companies that he's owned and then run link analysis on the partners. Maybe if there's a God, we find some guy who has a kid named John.
There's this park he goes to. He says he always feels comfortable there and he can escape from everything.
Durka believes he wants to commit suicide. The team needs to locate him quickly. Time is of the essence, and they need all the help they can get.
Tango would be advised. I checked the residence, and that's a negative. Nobody there.
Sophia, we're going to be heading over to a park over in the Bronx where we think your brother might be located. We're going to get out of the car. We're going to take a walk through the park. What we want to do is we don't know what state he's in, mental state he's in. So we're going to try and approach him, and as soon as we can, we're going to get the two of you together, okay?
Okay.
She's as emotionally distraught as her brother, but in a different way, because she loves her brother. She doesn't want her brother to hurt himself.
It used to be a bully had to have a face, but with technology today, it's almost like, people gang up. And it's unfortunate, and it really hurts kids. It tears them apart.
Tango 1, Tango 2.
Go ahead, boss.
All right, advise the team. We're 84 at the park.
Received, copy, going dark now.
Tango 2, Tango 1.
On the air, boss, go ahead.
Yeah, FYI, we're coming in from the east. You can pick up from the west.
my sister. I mean, I'd do anything for her. No one understands. I mean, honestly, I was probably just gonna end it. I was probably gonna end it all, so I didn't have any more problems. I contemplated a few times, and then right before I had the courage, right before I was gonna do it, he stopped me. It's weird. You know, I'm really happy that I'm gonna get help. You know, I need it.
The team was able to locate Nico and prevent a tragedy. With Nico safe, the investigation begins into who was behind the online bullying. Computer forensic examinations will be performed and interviews with friends and classmates will begin. To go behind the scenes to look into this case, review the case folder, and see what is coming up on the next episode, go to protectivecountermeasures.com/stalking. To learn more about these cases, cyberbullying and stalking, please go to protectivecountermeasures.com/stalking.